Shalom. We are moving ahead now with Psalm 42. For the leader, a maskil of the Korahites. Like a hind crying for water, my soul cries for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, the living God. O when will I come to appear before God? My tears have been my food day and night. I am ever taunted with, where is your God? When I think of this, I pour out my soul. How I walked with the crowd, moved with them, the festive throng to the house of God with joyous shouts of praise. Why so downcast, my soul? Why disquieted within me? Have hope in God. I will yet praise him for his saving presence. O my God, my soul is downcast. Therefore I think of you in this land of Jordan and Hermon, in Mount Mitzar, where deep calls to deep in the roar of your cataracts. All your breakers and billows have swept over me. By day may the Lord vouchsafe his faithful care, so that at night a song to him may be with me, a prayer to the God of my life. I say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why must I walk in gloom, oppressed by my enemy? Crushing my bones, my foes revile me, taunting me always with, where is your God? Why so downcast, my soul? Why disquieted within me? Have hope in God. I will yet praise him, my ever-present help, my God. We see here an internal dialogue that's going on inside the psalmist. A dialogue that involves a voice that is constantly reminding him of how downcast he is, how disquieted he is. He somehow feels that he cannot find satisfaction, that he cannot find the sense of peace that his soul thirsts for. He is somehow always falling short. At the same time, another voice reminds him within himself that his God is there to help him, to take care of him, that he always needs to have hope in God. He pours out his soul. He cries tears of anguish, knowing that he is suffering and that somehow he cannot feel spiritually complete. And then the other voice comes in and says, have hope in God. I will yet praise him for his saving presence. This is hardly the expression of a person who has found complete spiritual realization and fulfillment. But to me, that is one of the beauty of the Psalms. The Psalms reflect such a deep honesty and spiritual integrity. The psalmist is able to be completely honest with himself and with the listener. He does not pretend to have found the spiritual evolution or the nirvana that so many seek. He feels anguish, he feels uncertainty, his soul is downcast and disquieted. He does not present like someone who walks around showing that they have found the ultimate answer. There are some who we observe, we look in their eyes, they seem to have found inner peace. They seem to have found the ultimate answer. But listening to the message of the psalmist, we might feel somehow suspicious of such a person. Hardly anyone has found that measure of nirvana and inner peace that so many of us seek. The disquiet is always there, somehow downcast within us. We fall back on that at times, but then ultimately we fall back on our hope and our faith in God. There is a verse in this psalm that starts with the words Eila Ezkara. When I think of this, Ve'eshpecha alai nafshi, I pour out my soul. Eila Ezkara literally means these I recall, or these I remember. These are the opening words of a section of the Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, Musaf, or additional service that is called the Martyrology. In that section, Eila Ezkara, these I recall, refers literally to the 10 rabbis, including Rabbi Akiva, who were martyred during the 2nd century of the Common Era at the hands of the Romans. The Romans forbade the Jews from observing their religion and forbade the rabbis from teaching the Torah, from continuing the transmission and the chain of Jewish learning and Torah to the next generation. The Romans wanted to put a stop to it altogether. And these 10 martyred rabbis, according to legend, according to tradition, refused to stop teaching Torah and were cruelly tortured and murdered and martyred by the Romans during that time. On Yom Kippur, we remember them. We remember that we are able to continue to observe our Jewish teachings and traditions because of the martyrdom and courage and bravery of those who have gone before us. We stand on Yom Kippur, on the holiest day of the year, before God in the congregation, sharing that feeling of gratitude, knowing that if not for them, we would not be here. The psalmist mentions twice in this particular Psalm 42 that he is always taunted with the phrase, "Where is your God?" His enemies are asking him, "Where is your God?" He feels taunted. He feels somehow challenged. He feels that his enemies are saying to him, if you are suffering in the way you are, if your soul is downcast, if you are feeling aggrieved and depressed, where is your God? Why can't your God step in and rescue you? Why can't your God come in and lift you up and cheer you up? If your God is so powerful and ever present, why do you walk around with your face down? Why are you looking at the ground? Why are you sad? Why are you downcast? Well, that, my friends, is the taunt of the enemies. That's what the Romans would have thrown at the 10 rabbis who were martyred. The Romans would have said to them, where is your God? Why is your God allowing you to suffer these tortures? Why is your God allowing you to be punished for the, quote, sin of teaching Torah? If you've done so many meritorious acts, why is God allowing us to come in and harm you and torture you the way we are? Well, according to the psalmist, those are the mere taunts of the enemies. But we know, those of us who have deep faith, that we can go through lots of suffering in our lives, that we can go through the travails and trials of this pandemic, which are nothing compared to what the martyred rabbis suffered at the hands of the Romans. What we are going through is nothing compared to what Jews have suffered throughout the ages. The 6 million who died during the Shoah, all the others who were martyred throughout our troubled history. We are fortunate. We are lucky. And if there are times when we feel somewhat depressed and downcast, and when we feel grief, that does not hold a candle to the measure of suffering felt and experienced by the martyrs throughout our past. We are fortunate. We are blessed. We have faith. We know that things are not perfect, but somehow we believe in a brighter day and a brighter tomorrow. Thank you.